What is Jesus' parable of the weeds? Join me as I dive into the meaning of Jesus' parable of the weeds and see if I can unravel its hidden messages. In this video, you'll discover the meaning behind Jesus' parable of the weeds and its relevance today. The parable of the weeds depicts a world where good and evil coexist, a dilemma that has puzzled people for centuries. Jesus tells the story of a farmer who sows good seeds in his field, but while he's asleep, an enemy sneaks in and sows weeds among the good seeds. As the plants grow, it becomes clear that both good and bad seeds have been sown, and the farmer must decide what to do. This parable raises questions about the nature of evil and why it exists in the world. The presence of evil is a challenge to the idea of a loving God, and Jesus' parable offers insight into this problem. The parable also highlights the complexity of human nature, where good and bad qualities can exist side by side. The story of the parable is rich in symbolism, with the good seeds representing children of the kingdom and the weeds representing children of the evil one. The farmer's decision not to pull out the weeds immediately is also significant, as it shows that God's judgment is not immediate, but rather delayed until the end of time. Jesus' parable is not just a story, but a teaching moment, where he conveys important lessons about the nature of God's kingdom and the ultimate destiny of humanity. The characters in the parable, including the farmer, the enemy, and the servants, all play important roles in conveying these lessons. The key takeaway from the parable is that there will be an ultimate judgment, where the righteous will be separated from the wicked. This judgment is not something to be feared, but rather something to be looked forward to, as it will bring an end to evil and suffering. The parable also emphasizes the importance of patience and perseverance, as the farmer waits for the harvest to separate the good from the bad. The separation of the righteous from the wicked is a central theme in the parable, and it has implications for how we live our lives today. The parable of the weeds reminds us that our actions have consequences, and that we will be judged according to our deeds. It also reminds us that God is a God of love and justice, who will ultimately bring an end to evil and suffering. The parable encourages us to live our lives with integrity and compassion, knowing that we will be held accountable for our actions. The ultimate judgment is a reminder that our lives have meaning and purpose, and that we should strive to live according to God's will. In summary, the parable of the weeds offers profound insights into the nature of God's kingdom and the ultimate destiny of humanity, reminding us to live our lives with integrity and compassion. If you've enjoyed this video, please share your thoughts in the comments below, and check out another video on biblical teachings to deepen your understanding of God's Word.